All right, now we're going to do this one all the way through, and this is the last example before you do it by yourself. X squared, and I'm going to make it simple. X squared plus 8x plus 16. So let's do the x factor. What goes at the top?
16.
What goes at the bottom?
8.
And what are my two numbers?
4 times 4.
4 and 4. And they're both positive. Do I need to divide by anything?
Nope.
No, we stop. How do I find the zeros?
Subtract.
Yeah, we first have to set it equal to 0. And then we subtract. What do you call this again?
Roots.
What kind of root? A double root. Okay. Now let's use the quadratic formula and make sure that that's right. X equals, what's the formula? Negative b.
Plus or minus.
No, not negative b squared, just b squared. Minus
4 times A times C all over 2 times A.
Okay, so what is A?
A is 1.
What is B?
8.
What is C?
16.
Okay. What do I write first?
8. Wait, no.
Negative sign.
Negative.
Okay, now what do I write?
8. No, just 8. Put 8.
And why do I not need parentheses?
Because it's not a negative.
Because it's not negative. Do I need parentheses for this?
No.
No, because it's not.
Negative.
Minus
4.
4 times what's A?
1.
What's C?
16.
All over what?
2 times 1.
Oh, I shouldn't have put that in parentheses. Okay. And now, and I took that out of parentheses because it wasn't negative, and we want to get in the habit of putting only the ones negative in parentheses. Okay, so you can use the calculator from here. And we're going to do control divide, negative 8 plus square root. 8 squared is 16, no, 64. Because it's not 8 times 2. It's 8 times 8 minus 4 times 1 times 16. All over 2. And we get negative 4, which is what we got earlier, right? So then arrow up, highlight it, bring it down, change him to a minus sign.
How do you do that?
Make sure you use the minus and not the negative. And then we also get negative 4. So we did it right. For those that need to see it by hand, plus or minus 64 minus, what you have to do is 4 times 1 times 16, which gives you your 64. So all of this is negative 6 minus 64. And then this is 0. So the square root of 0 is just 0. And if you don't want to see this part, just fast forward. Negative 8 plus 0 over 2 and negative 8 minus 0 over 2. And they both give you negative 4. Okay, so we see it by hand. We saw it on the calculator. Now we get to graph. And the problem we're doing is x squared plus 8x plus 16. What did we learn were the roots?
The one without the letter. I mean, dang, never mind.
X equals, what do we get? Negative 4. So we're going to come over here and put negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we need to put another dot for a root?
No.
No, because this is going to be a double root. Now I know you guys are saying, Miss Pierce, 16 is too high. You're right, it is. But I can change the scale of my y-axis. So let's do that. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we can make it 2, good, Alexis, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And what is that going to be? Why did I put 16 here? Where did I get 16 from? The y-intercept. This is always your y-intercept, which is the letter C. So C is always the y-intercept. Okay, so we have our double root. We have our y-intercept. Who remembers what I said about the double root? When you have a double root, what else do you know? It's going to have the same vertex. It's going to be the same as the vertex. So let's prove that. To find the vertex, we do x equals what? Negative b over 2a. Okay, so what is b for this one? And what is a? 1. So x equals, and we do negative 8 over 2 times 1. Do I need 2 negatives up here or 1 negative? 1. If you can't do that by hand, you can use the calculator. Negative 8 divided by 2 times 1. We get negative 4. Isn't that what we said we were going to get?
Yes.
Okay. Now we need to find the y. So we take y equals x squared plus 8x plus 16 and plug in the x. Put it in parentheses. And then we put it in the calculator if you can't do that by hand. So parentheses, negative 4, then squared, plus 8 times negative 4 plus 16. And then it gives us 0, which is what we expected. Because now we see the vertex is negative 4, 0, right? Which is what we already plotted. So this here is a vertex, and it is the double root. Where do we draw the axis of symmetry? Down the middle through which point? The vertex, yeah. Right here. Okay? And I want another point on this graph. So, good. I need to go, since this is 4 away from the axis of symmetry, let's go 4 away. 1, 2, 3. And I can sketch it. And we're done. Is this a minimum or a maximum? I heard maximum and I heard min. So which one is it? It's a minimum. It is a minimum. Any questions so far?